What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's Sunday. So I'm going to start today with a bit of God. Y'all want to join me? All right. So I was checking out some Bible study, and it was about wisdom. Proverbs was the study today, and it got me thinking. Am I doing this right? So I'm going to start off with a little bit of prayer, and then I'm going to get into what I'm talking about, right after that. Oh, also, last time I prayed, it felt different, I guess, because I was doing it on, screen on YouTube or whatever. But it's not usually the way I pray. Usually the way I pray sounds a little more like this. Hey, Pop. Hello, Father. Hi, Father. How are you? I'm grateful. I'm glad to be in your presence. I know you're always around, but, when I acknowledge you, it feels more tangible, Either way, I want to thank you. I went through Bible study today, and it was on wisdom, Proverbs, and it helped me to see that you've given me a gift, and I appreciate it. I've always been, a curious fellow and seeking knowledge, looking for knowledge, though I never felt like I was a smart person, But I see now that seeking knowledge and then putting what I learned into action is the process of wisdom, and you've given that to me. I appreciate what you've done for me and my family. Thank you, Father. You've gotten us through, I don't even know, so many hard times, so many world-changing events. You've given me the foresight to see things that are coming. You've given me the thirst for the knowledge to learn about our situation. And you've given me the action plan to put that knowledge into action. Yeah, man. You've given us a steady income provision. You made sure that we were just on the edge of danger. And I appreciate you for it. Thank you, Father. I love you. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Oh, yeah, give me the right words, man. Like, I'm about to talk to, these folks here on YouTube. And try to, I guess, formulate my thoughts into something coherent that's not just jarbled up words in my head, I understand it, you understand it, but, they might not. Either way, I'm about to get to it, Pop. In Jesus Christ's name I pray, amen. All right. So, like you heard, it was on wisdom, and so I'm checking out this Proverbs thing, and I'm wondering, am I doing it? Am I doing it right? Like, I see tough times ahead, and the Bible talks about 7 years of feast and 7 years of famine and storing up, and doing specific stuff. So am I doing the biblical? Is my actions biblical? Like, is this what the Bible is showing me to do? And where am I going wrong? Because you can get stuck in a trap of like, oh, I see danger, and then like I won't say overreact, because sometimes overreaction in the moment is actually the proper reaction, like looking back, you know what I mean? So, just focusing on that and thinking that what you're doing to prepare is not going to be enough when God always provides, you know what I mean? So, all right, I got some notes here, right? So, in the Bible, it seems like preparation is called wise, being wise. And what is it? Proverbs 6:8, right? It says, come on, stop it, phone. All right, so Proverbs 6:8. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provide her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest, right? So it says, don't be lazy. You know what I mean? You know what you got to do to prepare for hard times. Don't be lazy. All right, I'm doing that. A little bit too much in the work department, but I'm hoping to be done, you know, grinding so hard because of what I'm doing now, you know? So, check. All right, I'm in the right path so far. Okay, let's get a little more on that topic, right? So, Proverbs 2:2-3. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides from it, but a simple man passes on and is punished, right? So if you see the evil, if you see hard times coming ahead, you know, don't just ignore the signs. Just, you know, because if you ignore the signs, you're just going to get caught up and swept up. You're not going to be any help to anybody, right? So prepare for what you see coming. That's what I'm doing. All right, check. All right, I'm lining them up with the biblical ways here. All right. So far it seems like, you know, the Bible's respecting foresight. You know, like if you see something coming, God is probably telling you to, you know, pay attention to that specific thing. You know, like, yeah, it seems like foresight is definitely something that's given, respected by God in the Bible. Again, this is my Bible study. This is what I'm thinking. This is my learnings and stuff. You guys, you know, do your own thing. You know, interpret it how you will. Basically, seeing the things coming and having the foresight there is not like it's not a lack of faith, you know. It's not depending on God. It's depending on God to show you and warn you of the things that are headed your way. That makes sense to y'all. Well, it makes sense to me. All right, so you see the things, the foresight, right? So what's next? Next, you got to prepare, and you know, not like hoarding or anything, but long-term strategic thinking is, you know, like, seems like it's warranted in the Bible. Like, so here we go. Joseph. Look at the book of Genesis 41. Joseph prepares for Egypt's famine. 7 years of feast. You guys are, you know, you're partying, everything's great. Now, look, 7 years of famine have hit. Have you prepared in those good times when you had it, when your body was stronger, when your mind was stronger? You know, did you do anything in those good times to prepare for the eventual bad times that are going to come? Because they always come. Right? It's you look at our money system, it's baked in every so many years. Oh, look, we got a crash. Oh my gosh, there's layoffs and, you know, like craziness. So did you prepare in the hard times? I gotta say, yes, I am preparing now. I mean, I feel like I'm in hard times right now, but I feel like harder times are coming. So preparing now is what I'm trying to do. Biblically aligned. Excellent. Check. And, you know, continuing on that path, Jesus, right? The Gospel of Luke 22:36. Jesus said, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. It sounds like to me, like, you know, you don't need luxury items and stuff like that if you don't have the bare necessities. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the things that are going to protect you, protect your house, protect your family, you know, like, you don't belong having the extra nice car or the freaking PlayStation 5 or anything like that. You know, like, forget all that stuff. That stuff is meaningless. It's just idle stuff, you know. It's just stuff. So get rid of that stuff and get something that's going to be actually useful. All right, so words from Jesus. Well, the book of Luke. Yeah, all right. But on that path, you know, like, of preparation, like, not letting my preparation turn into fear is, I won't say it's kind of a weak spot. No, because I'm not afraid, you know, because I see things coming and I know I'm going to be in the right place. That's faith, you know what I mean? I know I'm going to be in the right place at the right time. But the little constant, you know, I'm running out of time sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like, that there is again, I don't know what to call it. Is it fear? when I know I have faith that I'm going to be in the right place at the right time? Or is that just idle words, bouncing around in my head? I got to, keep going, keep pushing, keep going, So, yeah, trying to stay biblically aligned. I'm calling it out now. It's not fear. And so, it's just one of those things the brain puts in your head, your brain is designed to produce thoughts. Most of them seem to go towards bad, negative, but, keeping that stuff in check is very important. We have the ability to do that as humans, I think we're like the only things that have thought. Like, no, dolphins, they look like they think, animals, the gorillas and all that, you can see them thinking. Yeah, but we have reason, yeah, so not letting it turn into fear is an important thing, because if you're fearing, then that's not really having faith in God, because he tells you, don't fear, I got all you need, man. Don't be afraid. Why'd you give us the feeling of fear then, man? Like, come on, like, it's there. I know it's part of our survival mechanisms and all that there, but, you still have the feeling. Either way, we're going to move on. All right, so now we're on Proverbs, Luke 12, 16, 21. He stored up only for himself. Basically, this guy was trusting in all of the stuff that he stored away. Say today's modern day would be, he got stocks, he's got food, he's got, all of the stuff. And of course, you can't take it with you. So when you die, all that stuff's going to be left behind. Me and Marie were talking, like, we've seen a lot of people get rich, like wealthy, and they say that money just kind of amplifies what you already were. And so that made me think, like, what did I do when I came into money, or when I came into resources, I came into knowledge that most folks didn't have. I tried to share it, like, and buy time for people. So, like, COVID happened, and I was able to, like, get a whole lot of supplies, toilet paper, and everything they said that we needed at the time. And then when my family, ended up needing that stuff, of course I have it to give. I've been storing up. Here you go. Here's some toilet. Here's a care package. You know what I mean? Marie was in charge of doling out the care packages and stuff like that. When I came into extra funds and I realized how much of a trap work was, I was like, my daughter, I'll fund your entire candle making business. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get started. It's something that you think you love doing. I'll do that for you, your sister, and your brother, whatever, seems to pertain to you guys. And, we came into money, give it away, not just fully, And so what happened was some of the stuff worked out great, you know what I mean? And other things drained us, So, I learned, that during that time that you really want to be a rock. You really want to be stable. You can't help other folks that, one, won't help themselves, and two, are pulling you down as you're, as everybody's coming down. You know what I mean? So I learned lessons from that time frame. But, because I had the foresight and because I was, able to, get the gift from God to look ahead, we were able to help others survive as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, good and bad, but basically you can't take it with you. If I died during that whole gathering of supplies time frame, I'm gone. The stuff's still behind. My family, my friends, they're still gonna end up getting the stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm not putting my trust in that stuff. I'm putting my trust in the fact that God is going to provide and give us the things that we need to get by. You know what I mean? Provision. So, yeah. And I'm doing that again. Like, I'm doing that now, except I'm seeing where I have to draw a line so that I can make sure that my household, my wife, me are solid, so that when the actual tough times actually do hit, we can be the ones that are like, yeah, oh yeah, we've been prepared for this. You know what I mean? We're ready. Thanks, Father. Here's our tithing. Also, your body is your temple. You know, like certain areas that I'm fine in, other areas that I'm lacking. You know, like not just body, not just the physical, but you know, all of me, body, mind, spirit. You know, that sort of thing. So physically, I am definitely sacrificing my body and my body, sleep, you know what I mean? Those sort of things that are being sacrificed up here on the truck. So, you know, I'm trying to get to a point where I'm doing enough prep work so that I can be done with that sort of living, you know? Spiritually, I'm doing good, you know? Like I've taken this time while I'm up here to, you know, get into Bible study and stuff like that. I've never read the Bible before, you know? Like I've been to church for years and I've never actually read the Bible. I've always got it secondhand, you know. Now, I'm still kind of getting it secondhand, except it's direct words from the beginning, from Genesis all the way through. So you can't read while you're driving. It's probably illegal, you know what I mean? So YouTube is a great help with that. I'm using technology for good, not just stupid, you know, things that are just going to lead me into trouble, you know what I mean? So, okay, preparing spiritually, you know. What else? What else? So, like I said, spiritual endurance, spiritual knowledge is what I'm trying to get. Wisdom. Again, wisdom's not just getting knowledge, but it's putting it into action. You know what I mean? Discipline, action. I've learned that over the years, like, you know, you start something and you're in your right mind when you start it, but if it's taking more than just, you know, a month, more than a week, more than a year, and you're still doing it, you know what I mean? You forget your reasons why you even started to begin with. You just know that you're on autopilot. That's kind of part of being disciplined. I think that's where journaling comes in, you know, so that you can go back and look and see what you were thinking when you got started on the path that you're on, when you start with these long plans. Because, you know, yeah, there's so much that happens in the day-to-day. It's like, why am I even doing this? What am I doing here, man? So, and relationship, like, that's where I'm lacking, you know what I mean? I'm trying to build more community with my family, you know, and it's tough because I'm not a phone person, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I'm just going to call you up and we're just going to, you know, sit on the phone, but I'm making more of an effort for that sort of thing. And it always seems scary to me at first, but then it turns out to where, like, yeah, I'm on the phone for hours chatting with my brother about, you know, just everything, you know. I don't call it, but again, though, I don't call him for about 6 months to a year. And then all of a sudden I see something in the world and I'm like, hey, brother, what are you thinking about this? And then we get on the phone and we're talking for 6-7 hours straight. That is insane to me. I don't do that, like, but I do that, you know. Either way, community, you know. I'm building it. I really want to get more relationship with my grandmother, you know, because she's like, my grandmom's like in her 80s and I don't have much time, you know. So I don't know what questions to ask her, you know what I mean? Either way, so that's spiritual and community and physical. Where else am I weak and where am I strong here? What am I aligning with God, with my, you know, prep work and stuff like that? Is, again, that's what I'm trying to see here. Also, like with the community thing, like when times get hard, it's not going to be food alone or money alone that gets you through. You know, it's going to be, you know, your community who's at your side, you know. For me, that's mainly my wife. You know, like she's at my side. Well, she used to be. You guys, you've been watching her channel, you know that she's been going through, you know, some depression and mental issues and stuff like that. And so if you're in my position, like me and Marie, we got such a strange unicorn, you know, 1% of the population sort of lineup of factors here, you know. She's a chronic pain patient. Her medical is not, you know, great. Very expensive, my goodness. And on top of that, you know, she just went through the depression. So if you're in our position, you know what I mean? Like if you're in my position, I think biblically what you're supposed to do is provide a safe place for them, provide you know, the things that they need to heal, and then step back and let God do the work, you know. And so that's hard, because there's some things that, you know, you're going to have to do that two should be handling, but, you know, it's just you. So you do that for a period of time until your partner, your life mate, you know, can get back on their feet and start doing, you know, and get back to health. You know what I mean? They got to get back to health. Yeah. And it might be a long stretch. It might be short, you know. Either way, God will do the work. You just do your part and try to make sure that they have what they need to get on their feet again. Yeah. So that's that part. And I can't leave it like that. So on a positive note, you know, even with Marie's mental issues and body issues, you know, strength and all that, she's still handling the household, you know. She's still handling the politics of the house. That's something, a mental load that I don't have to think about, because she's there and she's doing that, you know. So my queen is back at the castle, making sure that the politics of the house goes smoothly and everybody's being treated fairly, you know. So yeah, that's what my partner's doing right now, and healing, right? So I guess to sum it all up, right, it seems like I'm pretty biblically aligned with the path that I'm on. I'm learning, and the only thing that I can do is share the knowledge that I got from what's happening in the world to, you know, other folks. Then at least that I'm doing that, you know what I mean? That's why I really started ramping up my YouTube videos and stuff. It's like, yo, like, I can't contribute too much, you know, financially, but this I can do, so I'll do it. All right. Not letting my knowledge of what's going on in the world put fear in me, you know, which is where it would become a problem, because I'm trusting in God to get me to where I need to be at the time that I need to be there. So biblically aligned. Cool. What else? Oh, and I'm not doing this stuff to be selfish. Like, I'm not storing up and trying to stack cash and all that stuff to be selfish. I'm doing it to prepare for my family, my friends. Like, the plan has always been the same, you know. Watch the world, help the family and friends avoid danger, and then put it into action, you know. And it's hard at times because, you know, like, a lot of people, they don't really want to see it, don't want to hear it, you know what I mean? They don't want to know. And they could have done things to help and prepare and stuff, but they won't. That's just not their personality, you know. It's my personality, it's my gift, and so I will use it, you know what I mean? So basically, don't be selfish, you know. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna end this Bible study, whatever you want to call this. Yeah, that's it for now, folks. Hopefully I got something else next Sunday, but if not, then I'm gonna try to, you know, ramp these up too, because I got to give more glory to God, you know. And try to make sure that I'm lined up with what his will is, what his wishes are, the stories and things that are in the Bible that he's telling you, like, these things will happen, and when they happen, this is what you do, you know, like instruction. Yeah, so that's it for now, folks. Love y'all. Check you later. I'm out. Gotta go drive and